Greetings, Voyagers. Well, with all the dark and troubled times that we're being forced to experience, I thought it might be time for a feel-good story. There's no guilt in sharing some joy during a pandemic. Let's take it while we can get it. I want to celebrate a little bit our van dwelling lifestyle. It's been 2 years and 9 months, 33 months since we moved into a van. If you want to know more about how we were living, go visit my introduction video. And I laid out the story in much more detail there. But essentially, we have been living in a violent, dangerous ghetto for 6 years down in Massachusetts. We had to leave our hometown of Salem because we couldn't afford the rents anymore. And we ended up in the ghetto. And then we got trapped there. You know, if you want to rent another apartment in Massachusetts, you have to come up with first and last month's rent plus a security deposit equal to a month's rent. And just for a one bedroom in the Boston area, that could easily top $4,000. Where are we going to get that kind of money? We're just living from paycheck to paycheck. And it was a deadly dangerous neighborhood we were living in. During the last 10 months we lived there, there were 9 homicides in and around the neighborhood. We had to get out. Because we were elderly and disabled, that didn't inspire compassion or pity in people. That made us a target for all the ghetto thugs. And we were surrounded by neighbors from hell. So I finally managed to scrape up a couple $1,000. I bought an old beat up van. I built it out and we moved into it and we got the hell out of there. We got to go back to Salem, our hometown, for a couple of years, and then we've been on the road. But we've come a very long way from where we were in just this 33 months. Now, we've been living rent-free all this time, but now we're living up here in northern Maine. This is one of the most beautiful places in the country. And we're living here rent-free, and we are safe up here. We are safe from the neighbors from hell, from ghetto thugs with their vicious attack dogs. We are safe from COVID-19. There's almost none of it up here. Maine is one of the least infected states, and while most of the other states are now experiencing a horrible resurgence of the virus, it's not happening up here. But it's no reason to be complacent. We still take all the precautions. The only time we're around people is when we go into town to shop. Our nearest neighbors are at least 500 feet away or more. So, you know, we're pretty safe. And we're safe from eviction. I paid cash when I bought the land. I paid cash for the land and I paid cash for all the building materials. I own this place outright and nobody's going to kick us out of here. No landlord, no bank, no neighbors from hell are going to drive us out. This is ours and we're staying here. Now, during this time of living in a van, we have traveled across the country and back twice. We spent most of last summer in the high Rocky Mountains in Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, Montana. It was wonderful. And we spent most of this past winter in Arizona and Southern California. I mean, we have visited some of the most fascinating and inspiring places. But now that we're not traveling, and we can't because of the virus, there's no place to go. All the Planet Fitness locations are closed. I think still most of the federal public lands are closed to camping. And there's just nowhere to go anyway. So we're lucky to have this place. We can come up here and we can stay and we can shower up here. But we can't stay here in the winter. The house is not habitable for year-round living. There's no heat, there's no insulation, no electricity in the house. So we'll be renting an apartment in Bangor because rents are affordable for people like us in Bangor. But yeah, so now that we're not traveling, oh, there's a little red squirrel. Go, little squirrel. Um, Now that we're not traveling, we're saving money again. And it's starting to add up. And by the time we get into an apartment this winter, we're going to have a very comfortable cushion of money against any financial shock. And I will probably be eligible for a caregiver stipend again. I was getting a caregiver stipend before we got out of the apartment back in Massachusetts. It's tax-free money for people who are providing direct care, primary care to a disabled person. So I will most likely be eligible for a stipend again. Our SNAP benefits have increased. That's SNAP, Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. They used to call it food stamps. Before the pandemic, we were getting $16 a month each. That's $32 a month. Not much, but better than nothing. I mean, it's, we're eligible for it. It's our tax money. We might as well get it. But for the last 3 months, because of the pandemic, they have increased our benefits to $200 a month each. That's $400 a month. That's almost our entire food budget for the month. We're practically eating for free. Nothing wrong with that. And as if all that weren't enough, we are legally growing cannabis in the yard. I mean, really, this is hippie heaven up here, man. But there were a lot of naysayers. Every member of my son's healthcare team were adamantly opposed. They were horrified and aghast at the thought of him living in a van. They just couldn't conceive of any other way to live. They were so stuck in their middle America lifestyle that this to them was a horrible choice. They kept insisting that we find another place to rent. Well, where? We've been priced out of the market in Massachusetts. And even that caregiver stipend that I finally got, that'll just move us into another ghetto. If we had taken their advice, we'd still be stuck in some godforsaken, stinking, dangerous ghetto somewhere with no money to spend on anything. No money to go anywhere or do anything. There'd be no personal security. We wouldn't be safe. And no financial security and no way out. I mean, they were even suggesting apartments here. Rent this, you can rent this, and we can rent. They even suggested a trailer park. Are you kidding me? A trailer park? That's just another ghetto. We're trying to get away from neighbors from hell, not make them closer to us. I mean, if we had done what they said, we'd still be struggling and suffering in misery. No security at all. And what did they expect us to do? Sit in a house and watch TV for the rest of our lives because we have no money to go anywhere and it's too dangerous to walk around the neighborhood? That's not living. That's just waiting to die. And I'm not having any of that. No way. I have engineered a reversal of fortune, and they just couldn't see it. So this is going out to all you naysayers on my son's health team, and nothing personal. You guys have all been great. You're taking good care of him. I love you guys. But you were wrong. I proved you all wrong, and I would love to have somebody admit to it. That would make me feel good, but I doubt it. Yeah. So, bottom line is, we're thriving. In these tough times, when a lot of people are barely surviving, we're thriving. This is a van life victory. This is triumph over adversity. I have finally found a way, after all these years, to beat the system and stick it to the man. Yeah, mission accomplished. Woo!